Hey, how you doing? Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another time here. Welcome to another time here in the up in well, it's not the upper room at the book club. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. So glad to have you here. I get to do this 2 p.m. West African time on Sundays. So glad to have you here. We've been doing a read and study through a book. The Confidence Game. It's our night book in the series. We've been doing this for the last 5 years. Next month is going to make 5 years we've been doing the book club. And in our 5 years, we have read 9 books. This is our night book we've been reading in the last 5 years. So thanks for those that have come along. Hope you're learning something, gaining something. YouTube is full of everything we've done in the last 5 years if you want to catch up with that. But here we are with the confidence game. We're reading chapter 3. This probably, hopefully, will be the last on in chapter 3, and we'll go to chapter 4 next week. But if whatever, we'll just do our best to it. So thanks for coming along. We've been talking about the confidence game, and it's we've been learning about it. Like I say, that possibly two purpose intent. I'm trying to gain as I go through the book. One is to learn about the confidence game so that nobody is able to play it on us. You know, until I started reading it, I just didn't realize how much it's so prevalent all around us. Until you talk about it, you probably don't see it. I wanted to put a fixture, a brick fixture in my house. And once I decided to do that, I started seeing it everywhere. I'm looking at the TV, I'm looking at the news, I'm looking at movies, and I'm seeing it everywhere. Maybe that's the reason why I don't know. But as we began to read it, I see the confidence game. I can look back at my life and see how it's been played. Last week I started talking about the young lady that played it on me, and we trying to use some of that experience, to learn from and see what we can garner through that. Um, I've also I've also been in the timeshare. I've been in several timeshare meetings, and that's just a big con. It's a con game. I've been sharing from some of those experiences also. I've been part of all of this pyramid game, pyramid game. I was there in 2008 and I lost a lot of money in a pyramid game, and forever bond, some young folks come around in recent years to come and try to sell it as if it's a new thing. No, it's not a new thing. It's been around. I've lost a lot of money in it, and forever bonds, I don't care whether there's money to be made there or not. Forever bonds, I would stay with the right part, I know how to make money and I'm going to stay with that part to make money. I'm not looking for any shortcut. Shortcut is for people, lazy people who procrastinate, who don't do the right thing at the right time. So when time then catches on them, they're ready to do every stupid thing to hopefully try to catch up with the time they've let go. But if you start early and you start doing things in little bits on a continuous, consistent basis, you don't need any of these games. You will have built wealth. You'll have built whatever it is that you want to build. If you do it right and early. You know, it's like exercise, I used to be consistent, and I get busy, I get off it, and I get healed, each with one illness or the other. I get back to it, and I'm not gotten the benefit because of a lack of consistency, you know. And in this old age, I'm trying to be consistent, and I'm trying. I know the head to myself. I congratulate myself. I am doing well. I am doing well, So, and I'm getting a benefit. The other day, my friend says they can see it, and all my tummy is gone down. I can show my rib my ripped my ribs, and I'm seeing the benefit. I see the benefit in my sleep. I sleep deep and better. I'm able to come here and be confident, posture wise, I'm having the right toning for my body. I can walk well. I'm confident. That those are some of the things you get from it. But you need to be consistent, for you to really evade a good part of your life, you know. So exercise also I get to. People don't exercise, then suddenly they fall ill and you're trying to it's lack of consistency, right? If you do the right things, you are not going to fall victim to all of these con games. Dara, you're welcome. Uh God bless you. Good afternoon, Dara. You're welcome. So good, good, good. So we're back here. It's gonna be the sixth time trying to finish chapter three. Hopefully, we can finish chapter three today. I'm gonna bring up my slide, and we can go run through it. You know, obviously, you won't see it on Facebook Live, but you get to see it. You know, when I download on Facebook, you'll see it on YouTube. You'll see it on my blogging site, you know. And to help with the book we're reading, I have three other books. I have The Heart of the Con here by Paul Wilson, and it's helping us get latitude, get depth, you know, as we discuss the topic. You know, I also have what they call the big con, written by David Maurer. You know, that's helping us also as we go through this. And lastly, I have the Mark Inside. You know, the Mark Inside, it's written in a novel biographical format, you know, of how someone was conned and how he was able to get his money back. You know, as they go through that story, it teaches us some of the things about the current game. You know, so yeah, so those are not used to the definition of con game. It's just what you call 419. You know, it's what you call swindling, to swindle someone is what is yeah. So it's what you call the con game, right? Conning someone, you know, trying to deprive someone of his goods or his wealth, you know, in a deceptive way, you know. So that's what the con game is. And it's called a confidence game because those that do it come so confident you think they're telling the truth. You know, you're similarly forced to believe in them, you know, and that's important. You know, when I got back from California in 2010, that was one thing I was strong. You know, I just learned about confidence. I found out that if you're confident, people will tend to believe you. And that's what makes the con game work because when they talk to you in the confidence seem to make you want to believe what they're saying. They sound like they know what they're talking about. So you are forced, as it were, to believe them, to follow after them. It's a psychological thing. It's not necessarily a spiritual or they use any any black magic. It's just psychological. We tend to believe those that are confident in themselves because we're built to follow order. We're built to follow something we can trust, something we can rest on, we can depend on. So when someone comes to us in confidence, it looks like it's something that we can, in a shaky world, something we can find rest against. You know, it kind of typifies for me the time I was in depression back in 2008 to 2010. Yeah, I was just looking for something to rest on. You know, my whole world was falling apart. Everywhere was dark. You know, everywhere was dark. It was like everything that I either to I trusted in, I rested on, they didn't stand, they didn't hold. So I was looking for something for support, something for rest. I was looking for a word. I was looking for God to just say, "You are my son. Everything will be okay." I was looking for something I could rest on. And you can just imagine that's what a lot of people are looking for, and that's why they get more good, right? They're looking for some support, you know, and that's why this con games works. And people, most often than none, when they're in transition, you know, when their world is all changing, you know, and they're looking for something that is constant, something that is stable in the midst of all the changes, you know, the turmoil. They're looking for support. There comes this 419 people, this swindlers, you know, in confidence saying they can offer that support. And we tend to believe because you know we're in a dry patch and any water we long for, you know, and we get to believe them and they abuse it, right? And which makes the matter even worse, right? In another sense, we tend to attract it. I remember back in depression here, 18, whole 18 to all 20, you know, it was like the more I felt sad, the worse things became, because it was like I was calling forth evil to myself. Things I either told would not happen, had never happened to me before, began to happen. Negative things were happening because I was in a sorrowful state. Right? It's just like what Jerry Savelle would say. Says, if the devil can steal your joy, if the devil cannot steal your joy, he cannot steal your goods. But if the devil can steal your joy, which also extends to happiness, he can steal your goods. If the devil can still make you sorrowful, then he can have access to your being, right? Bible would say the joy of the Lord is my strength. So when I lose the joy of the Lord, then I'm weak. I don't have strength. I don't have a defense. The devil can get me to that place that I'm sorrowful, then he can steal my goods because my defense, as it were, is gone. Right. So that's why it's important to defend our joy, to defend our happiness. That's why it's important to have a positive spirit, a positive orientation, a positive philosophy. I know some foolish spiritualists, will be against positivity, and say some stupid stuff because they're ignorant, right? Positivity is a spiritual strength as much as a psychological strength, because like attracts like. When I'm positive, I tend to attract positive things. When I'm negative, I tend to attract negative things, right? It's a spiritual law, it's a psychological law, and it works, right? So it's a choice. You can decide to do it, to use it. You can decide not to use it. It's whatever you want in your life. So let it be. If you're okay with negative things in your life, continue with your negativity. But if you want positive things, be positive, right? Don't let the devil have your joy. Don't let the devil have your happiness, because it matters, right? It matters, right? So great. I'm going to bring my slide here and try to finish our chapter today. But again, I'm never in a hurry. If we don't finish it today, we'll continue next week. We're just going to try and soak as much as we can from what we have left. All right, I'm going to bring up my slide on this slide here. And all right, great, great. We stopped here. Let me pick it up from where we stopped last Sunday. So yeah. All right, we stop talking about the hook. We could define the break down the con game, into what we typically would call the way that we catch things, right? We'll talk about the hook, line, and the sinker. So when the con artist already knows the person has done the hookup, or the put in, or the put up rather, to know who the victim is, he brings about a bait, puts the bait at the end of the hook, for the victim to bite. Once the victim bites the hook, then it draws it in. It draws the hook in, right? And pretty much uh pretty much exploits the victim. We call the sinker, hook, line, and sinker, right? Pretty much to draw the line in and effectively exploit the victim. So in terms of talking about the hook on which you put the bait, there are three types. And as what we call the big hook, the soft hook, and the straight hook. And when we talk about the big hook, it's pretty much just a general sensitization of a place, trying to see how many people will respond to your deception, right? And if you're on online, you see a lot. You have a lot of girls wanting to show you their boobs, trying to make you want it. Someone who you have not asked for said you want to see naughty things, you know, they want to get you in. They want to sucker you in, maybe pull you into pornography, but at the end of it is to separate you from your goods one way or the other, right? I remember when I got back here from I got back here in 2016. I just came back from Houston, 2016, and I've always been on social media. And there was just someone that came, because I get busy on my marriage community, and I attend to people for all over the world. There was this lady that came and was doing as if she was in trouble, single mother, this, that, that. And as I canceled in sincerity of heart, she was trying to get herself to a place where she could come visit me in a physical address. And I tend to trust people, right? I tend to trust people until I'm proven otherwise. But I've gotten wiser also. I don't get myself into those uh I don't get myself pulled far along, due to experiences as I see more people. And as we read this book, I just find that it's not coincident. These people are planned it. It's a game they planned. They're trying to get under your skin. You can imagine if I'd given this lady my physical address, who knows, might not be a lady, might be man, who might come and meet me somewhere and waylay me, and whoever knows what could have happened. I remember a colleague of mine that just got back from the US also, and he went to Jack on their side. He saw someone in trouble. He was intervening, and in the midst of all of that, if he suddenly found himself surrounded by all of these people, and they stole money from him. They made him withdraw from his ATM card, but for just one good one amongst them, they could have taken his life. So you have all of these people around, and it looks so innocent at first. So you have to be careful, you have to be wise, you have to be wise. You know, it's like Jesus would say, he says, be as wise as a serpent, but as gentle as a dove. But that it's important to be wise. You can live this life without wisdom, especially here in Lagos, capital city, capital commercial city here in Nigeria. We'll say it's a place of wisdom, it's a land of wisdom, because being a commercial place, a lot of people just want to swindle you, want to play the fast one. They want to con you of your goods. So if you're not wise, you're not sharp, you could lose a lot. You know, I'll imagine you have the same thing in every commercial big op. I'll probably have the same thing in New York, San Francisco. So you have to wise up. There's people send things, and if you're the one looking for something for nothing, you get caught. If you have someone that has not taken your life serious, you're always procrastinating, then now it's like things are coming, deadlines are coming suddenly on you, then you're rushing looking for shortcuts. You're an easy prey to them, right? So if you take care of your life, if every day you wake up, you do what you're supposed to do, you will not need any shortcut, right? If you do what you're supposed to do, you will not need any shortcut in life. You'll follow the seeming hard road, which is the right road, because you seek to pay the price. You don't want something that you have not paid the price for, right? So you already know what something is coming. You begin to plan for it. You're renting a place. You know that you're going to pay rent one year's time. You begin to plan for it. Your wife is pregnant. You begin to plan for the baby. Your children are going to pay school fees. You begin to plan and not be looking for shortcut, looking for miracle, demon temples who will be deceiving you that all you need is a prayer of the prophet. And suddenly God will suspend every protocol. You just suddenly have money. Those people are helping you to hell, both in the temporal and the spiritual. They're not teaching you how to live. There's a way to live. It's not by shortcut, it's not by suspension of protocol. It's by doing what you can do every second of your life. When you do what you can do, God will do what you cannot do. It's not looking for prophet or big man of God who give pastor's offering, prophet's offering, bishop's offering, so that everything will just suddenly be easy. You will not grow through life. You will not build strength. You will not build character. Don't get suckered by these people. There are con artists everywhere in the church, on the pulpit. Don't be the next victim. Take care of your life. Take charge of your life. Be aware. Be awake. Don't waste time. Don't let time pass you by. Every day, do what you are supposed to do that day. Stop procrastinating. Do what is meant for that day. The next day, do more, do more, do more, do more, do more, do more, do more. It will prepare you for the coming opportunities. Opportunities will not eat you without being prepared. If every day you do your best to grow, to become better, to build capacity, to build value, when opportunities come, you'll be prepared. They'll meet you. What do you suppose I'm doing here? I'm building capacity. I'm becoming better. When I do this every Sunday, it makes me ready for anything that will come my way. Because everything I would share and discuss here becomes easy for me to discuss. Becomes things I can easily latch onto to talk about something else. Every Sunday prepares me for my Monday. Every Monday prepares me for my Tuesday. Every Tuesday prepares me for my Wednesday. Every Wednesday prepares me for my Thursday. Every Thursday prepares me for my Friday. And every Friday prepares me for my Saturday. Every Saturday prepares me for my Sunday. And the cycle keeps on going. Don't be passive through life. Engage, engage, engage. If you engage, every second will prepare you for the next second. Every moment will prepare you for the next moment. Every minute will prepare you for the next minute. Every hour will prepare you for the next hour. Every day will prepare you for the next day. Every week will prepare you for the next week. Every month will prepare you for the next month. Every year will prepare you for the next year. It's up to you. So we have the big hook, which is just a general sensation, then see how many people fall for it. We have the soft hook, which is kind of subtle. They don't come directly to you as what the intent is. If someone is talking to you directly, but it's not coming directly to you as to what they're trying to get out of that, right? And that is what you might call what this young lady did to me, came and did as if she was in trouble, and I wanted help. And in all of that, she used that to get money from me, which she pretty much stole, you know. So yeah, but so you have to be careful. Again, that's why the ancient wisdom says be as wise as the serpent. Be as wise as the serpent. You need to be as wise as the serpent. In the engagement of life, everybody's trying to outdo the other by wisdom. Don't fall short. Don't fall short. Today's warfare is a mindset warfare. Everybody's trying to outdo the other. Everybody's trying to con the other person. Don't let someone have the better of you. Wise up, learn. Open your eyes, open your ears, open your heart. Learn, build capacity, be a better person, a stronger person, right? Don't take life simple, because life is not simple. Don't be casual about life. If you're casual about life, you become a casualty. I know what it looks like. I'm still suffering from the casualties of taking life casual back in 2016. I can tell you that, right? Don't take life casual unless you become a casualty, right? So there's a software where people are subtly trying to hook, trying to con you, and there's a straight one. They just tell you outright, this is what it is. Do you want to be a part of it or not? So different ways in which that you get hooked into these con games, and pretty much the line drawing into it is selling the product to you. They tell you the truth, lay it up with lies. Tell you the truth, lay it up with lies. I don't tell you straight lies because yeah, you're not that stupid, right? Common sense, you probably get them. So they lay it with truth. The truth that will make you want to believe that they're doing the right thing. Then they inject the lies into it. Truth inject the lies into it. but all towards a hand where they want to get you to, right? They have to put the truth there to make you feel as if you're in the right place or in the right part, then layer it with lies, to push you towards where they want you to get to, right? They win your comfort, your confidence by some truths, then inject lies into it. If you believe them, you won't know when the lies are there. So you have to be careful, right? You have to know things for yourself. You have to question things, right? Don't be too simple that you get carried away by everything people tell you. You don't be that one looking for surprises, looking for things magical, because those are ways in which to get people, they do some seeming magical things and you feel, wow, these people must be real. Oh, they know God more than me, or always judge everything. Don't just take what someone says, don't just hear without your own philosophy, judging what you're hearing. Jesus says that it's important not just what you hear, but how you hear. Everything that you hear must be judged by what you already know. Right? Don't be too gentle that you feeling I should not offend this person, so I'll just believe what he's saying and just go along. Uh-uh. Your life is more precious than that. Your destiny is more precious than that. You know, if it doesn't agree with what you already know, investigate and stop till you find out why. Don't get suckered into something because you're trying not to offend somebody. Some people even go into marriage because they don't want to offend somebody or to all work out. Oh, I don't want to offend this person, so I'll go into marriage. Be careful. It's supposed to be forever. Be sure what you're going into. You know, don't go into marriage out of pity, self-pity or pity someone. Go there because you want to go there, because there's something for you to give and you believe that this is a place to give it. All righty. So that is the part of the line, the hook, sell the game, by putting some truth with lies to get you where they want you to get to. And sinker is pretty much just getting the money, getting the goods they want to get. Uh, in churches is getting the offering. I'm not saying offering is bad, but not all offerings that are called in church are correct. Some are witchcraft, so you have to know the difference between the two. Don't give an offering because someone spent 2 hours talking about it. Give an offering because you're convinced of the intent, the purpose for which you're giving it, and you're giving it cheerfully to God for God's purpose, for that need, not because someone witchcraft you there by spending 3 hours, beating you with words, right? Don't give it because someone scared you of what will happen if you don't give it. That person's a thief, right? So give it because you believe, the cost for which you're giving it, and you're giving it out of faith, not fear, right? So yeah, don't let anybody force you into making a commitment that you're not convinced about. So if someone is trying to pressure you with time, you must do this. If you don't do this, you do this. That person's a thief, is a con, right? Anything that would not allow, give you time to think and be sure of what you're doing, that person is not for you. That person is a devil, devil in human body, right? Every right every right decision must be given time for that decision to come, from that person. God's way of doing things is come and let us reason together. Anything or any person that is not going to give you the opportunity to reason about a thing you are being forced or pressured to make decision concerning, that person is not on your side. That person is from the devils from hell. That person does not mean well for you, right? Every right decision it will involve you reasoning it out and you deciding both in the short, mid, and long term, this is the right decision for me. And you commit to it. You commit to the sacrifice because you have looked at it in the short term, in the mid term, and in the long term, and you see that this is the right decision for me. right? So, otherwise, the con people want to force you, want to corner you into making a decision. Don't allow yourself to be a victim of that. I mentioned in the timeshare when you're coming for that meeting where they want to sell the timeshare to you, they want to ensure that you're able to make a decision in that meeting without going to giving an excuse to go and come. So they will make sure that when you're coming, you come with your driver's license, you come with a credit card, and you come with the signatories on that card. If it's a card you share with your wife, they will want you to come with your wife, right? They will not entertain you until you have all that it takes to make that decision in that meeting. And in that meeting, they will not let you off the hook easily. If you have the first meeting and you don't seem to have been sold, that person will say, "Oh, all right, let me go talk to my boss." They set up another set of people you talk to. You don't do, oh, you set up another. They worry how they keep you there for the whole day, talking and talking. And so for some people, they probably make a decision based on the fact that they're tired, just want to go out. But it's a deceptive it's not worth it. If it was worth it, they wouldn't go through all that trouble. But don't get into anything that you're forced to make a decision on, especially when it has to do with you parting with your money. Be wiser than that. Wake up, be wiser than that, right? So, um, and sometimes, and most of this has to do with our desire for riches and immortality, right? So you see, when some churches make announcement for program, oh, prosperity, oh, healing, oh, deliverance. You mean you can't just come to learn and grow and build capacity? The only reason you have to come for their program is that you have one special thing. That's why we're not building Christians in churches. We're building beggars. You're building people that don't know the difference between their right and their left. People that are going to be children all the days of their life. You're building people like those who wanted to make Jesus king. Jesus fed the 5,000 with 5,000 with bread, and they wanted to make him king. Jesus says, "I'm not going to give myself to you people. I know what you're made of. You're human beings. You're flimsy, right? You're excited because of what you are eating. You're excited because of the healing. You're excited because of a deliverance, but you have not built foundation. You have not built roots. You need roots. You need roots. This is just a wave. What is shaking you today, tomorrow might be gone. And it was gone because the same people that wanted to make him king were the ones saying crucify him, right? So if you want a life that produces results, not just like chasing after results, you have to be willing to pay the price to become. And that's what, scripture would say, Jesus would say, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and every other thing will be added to you. He's saying, become the person that can produce what you're looking for. That's what Jesus is saying. Become the person that can produce what you are looking for, because everyone produces after their kind. What you become, who you become, will produce what you want. Whatever you want, become the person that can produce it, and you will have it because your person will produce it. Don't chase after the thing because scripture says that money is fleeting. You're chasing after it will develop wing and fly away. You won't get it. You keep chasing. But when you become, what you want will come to you, will attract to you because you are the home for it, right? So it's becoming, it's not chasing. Con men want you to chase after riches. Chase after immortality. It might be that you're sick. Oh, chase after healing. You're going from one prayer house to the other. Why don't you start now that you're well to take care, maintain the health that you have, do the things that will keep you healthy, eat well, drink well, sleep well, exercise well, And don't wait till you are in crisis mode. Then you start moving from one demon temple to the other, looking for healing, looking for pastor to pray for me, prophet to pray for me. Take care of yourself. Take care of what you have today. And if by any chance you're sick already, you know, begin to look, find out what can I do? What can I do to make it better? And do it. Do your own part, right? Do your own part. Do what you can do. But don't compromise. Don't compromise who you are because of what you're looking for. It will only dig you deeper, not bring you out, right? Um, I'm here not talking about talking against genuine prophets, genuine pastors. I'm just saying be careful, right? I'm just saying be careful and beware what you're losing for what you want to gain. You might be losing eternity for a temporary healing. Be careful. Watch before you leap, right? So, so this criminal minds pretty much use three steps in on this con game, just like we've talked about the bait, the hook, the drawing the line in, and the sinker, right? They pretty much will show you the victim what he really wants. We all want something, right? We all want something, but there are different ways to get it. Jesus did come to go to the cross, but the devil said, "You don't have to go to the cross. You don't have to go to the cross. Just bow down to me, and I'll give you everything. You came to collect the gates there of life of death. You want to collect the key. Huh? I'll give it to you. Just bow down to me." See, that was the easy part. Jesus could have done that. A lot of people do that today. You have people that are sacrificing their mother, children, wife, people, other people to make wealth. They're doing wealth sacrifice, money sacrifice, right? Money is good. We need money, but we should get it the right way, not the wrong way, not sell our soul for it, right? But the victim comes and say, the swindler says, "No, you can get it. You don't have to wait. You want to wait 5 years for that? No, no, no. If you do this, you can get what you will have gotten in 5 years now. You can sell your soul and I'll give it to you. Bow down to me, I'll give it to you." Be careful. Be careful. Again, wake up. Be mindful about your life. Right? Do everything the things you need to do. It might be long, but if you start early, you'll get there. If you start early, you'll get there. You can build wealth. You can become rich. You can become the richest person. All you need to do is start early and begin to do things on a consistent level towards what you want. Otherwise, when you've not done that and crunch time comes, oh, landlord is knocking, school fees they're asking, then you're tempted to go do some stupid things to get the money. You're tempted to go prostitute. You're tempted to go steal. You're tempted to change figures because you didn't do the right thing at the right time. You were passive about life. Someone deceived you or you deceived yourself. Right? So be careful. You know, Can Game offers you something that you want, seemingly for nothing, but it's for your soul, right? So they convince you it's real and they've kind of pressure you to make a decision, right? So just be careful. Nothing is simple. Simple ask. There's something behind it. Be careful, right? Uh, like I said, living in California, sent me messages. "Oh, we observed that you've been shopping around at the mall. Oh, we have a gift card for you, say like $100 gift card. Oh, yes. All we need you to do is you send us the transport for it. If you send us the transport, we'll send you the card." Someone that wants to give you $100 does not have enough money to pay for transport to send it to you. So I tell them, "All right, take out of the 100 for the transport and send me the remaining." They say, "No, oh, the way our company works, this. Just looking for the next stupid person to send them money. right? It's not innocent. It's all planned, right? They're looking for someone that's so hungry after the $100 that's willing to be foolish enough to send them some money. Be careful. All right. So all of this is planned and done after the human nature. There are things that we want, and there are things where, and depending on how much we want it, where it has caught us, we're willing to give something. Willing to give something that is not too discomforting to get it. At a time of or we're desperate, where we don't mind giving something that is even discomforting to get it, right? But that comes out of desperation. You don't want to do discomforting thing out of desperation, because most often than not, you compromise your standard, right? And you lose something big. You want to do discomforting things not when you're pressured by choice to sow for what you want, right? Discomfort is the is a pathway to growth, but only if it's a discomfort that you proactively and intentionally make as a seed for your growth, not one that you're forced to make out of desperation, right? So you have to be careful. The con man understands human nature and they play around human nature. They know what we respond to. So they're going to sell you not what you don't want, they're going to sell you what you want and try to give it to you at what seems to be something for nothing. But there's always a catch. Devil offered Jesus the keys, right, to death and AIDS for nothing. You say just bow down to me. But there's not just bow down. A bow down, it's worlds colliding together, right? What looked like a small compromise was a big compromise. What looks like, oh, all right, if you don't get pregnant, we can't marry. Can't mar your life. Oh, we must have sex before marriage. I have to know how good you are before we get married. Can mar your life. You start being one that's now having body counts because you're opening here and there and there's no closure. Right. So be careful. Don't compromise, but also don't be passive about life. Be awake early so that you don't start being in desperate situations. Right. That's important. All right. So again, the con game is designed around human nature, and so you need to also know yourself. Know yourself is a SWOT analysis we talk about. Know yourself, know your strengths, your weaknesses. Tend to confront life with your strength. Use your strength to exploit life. Right. Set boundaries around your weaknesses. Don't be in places that compromise in places where your weakness can fall you, right? Or someone can use your weakness against you. Have the right boundaries for yourself. My weakness is that I love people, so I have to have the right boundaries around that. That I don't allow people to walk over me because of love for people. Like this young lady did, it came, oh, she was in prison, she was this, and I allowed myself to, because I wanted to help, and because I wanted to safeguard also the things she had already taken. I went in to help, but all was a black hole to take my money from me, So I have to build uh boundaries around that I won't allow myself to fall victim of that again. One of the boundaries for me is I don't do anything money on social media. I don't come to social media to be a donor, So if you're looking for money from me on social media, the answer is no. The answer is no. It's a capital no, and I don't care how desperate your situation is because it's a boundary condition for me, So I don't believe you, It's a straight word. I don't believe you. Someone I don't know from Hadab coming to me, uh, won't go to someone he or she knows. It's me that you don't know that you want to get money from. I mean, the straight answer is no, right? I know I'm going to meet some people that are genuine, but there's a boundary I need to keep, to safeguard my heart and my future, you know. So yeah, we all have strengths and weaknesses. You need to set boundaries to help you, so you don't become a victim. And you need to then harness life with your strength, know where your strength is, and valiantly, go head on to exploit life. You need to be aware of the opportunities that present themselves to you, opportunities for growth, opportunities for increase, and beware also of the threats, the things that can endanger you just around you, your environment, and know how to keep away from them. That's important. That's how you safeguard yourself from being exploited. Uh, scammers come and they know with the human tendency there are things we don't like to do. You know, um, if I answer people crudely, it'll be already kill the scamming game against me. I mean, someone comes and say, "Hello, good morning." The cordial thing for me to do is to answer back, but I know in some cases that begins the downward trend of them wanting to go somewhere. So some people I don't even answer at all because by experience I know where they're going. So I stay away. I try to keep my cordiality, but I don't allow my cordiality to become an instrument against me. I'm not going to change my person, but I'm just going to rather avoid, you know. So because they use your morality against you. They know that you'll typically be cordial and they use that, So because some things we do because we're trying to be respectful, but people use that to sucker you or lead you in a part of wanting to con you, right? So sometimes, it's like people that call and say, "Oh, we have a meeting called," I just cut it off, right? Uh, there have been calls of people that say, "Oh, we're Jesus Crusade for this, we are doing crusade." But ever since I knew that all of those were fake, I don't entertain that, right? You just have to wake up to reality of the con game all around and not allow yourself to become a victim to them, Uh, you don't have to lose your good nature in doing that, but you also don't have to give patience to stupid things. Again, ancient wisdom says, be as wise as these people trying to sucker you. Be as wise as these people that are trying to use your good nature against you. So find a way to not lose yourself, but also not give them place. Right. It says, be as wise, but still be good natured. Be as gentle as a dove. Be a good person, but still be wise. So find a way to be your good self, but don't be suckered. Be wise. So plan ahead, think ahead, decide what you would do when such circumstances, come your way. When you plan ahead, it becomes easier. Sometimes why some of this have sways because we don't think about it. We assume that it can never happen to us. So when it does, we don't know how to handle it. I remember one time I had a flat tire, one of the front tires went down on the third mainland, but it helped me because I was already thinking about it. One day I started thinking about what will I do when if my tire suddenly goes down, on an express like the third mainland. I was already agreed in my mind. I had a mental model of what I would do. So it was easy to follow that mental model when it occurred. So sometimes, the way by which we overcome this 419 people is just to have a mental model of if this happens to me, this is what I'll do. It's been one time in the I think it was well, there's one was at the Jesha, one was at Oshodi, where these people just suddenly come in your front, Uh, it just having a mental mood of this is what I would do if it occurs. That helps. That helps because if we don't have that, you might go into what we call a tunnel vision, whereby you'll key into the first thing, and it might be the wrong thing, and you begin to justify that. right? So yeah, it helps to have a plan ahead, for if I confront any of these people, what will I do? How will I keep myself from being exploited, right? So in Yeah, so that's about it on chapter three. So we will come back with chapter four next Sunday, God willing. We'll be talking about the rope, how and the quote that summarizes the rope chapter four is ultimately anyone can be conned if you have the balls to do it. So if you have the balls to do it, you can con anybody and anyone can be conned. If you have the balls, you can con anybody. And if anybody doesn't have um their guards up, they can be conned, right? So the Bible says that anyone that thinks he stands, let him take it lest he falls. When if you think you cannot be conned, take it, you can be conned. If you don't have your guards up, you don't have your defense up, you can be conned, right? And but this whole study is to help us not to be, and we're saying you need to have your guards on, you need to uh settle within your mind what you would do if any of this comes your way. That would have solved the problem 50% or more, and you can always add to that as they bring surprises. All right, that's all we have for today. We'll come back next Sunday, God willing, with chapter four. Dari, thanks for coming along. God bless you. God bless you, everyone on Facebook, Facebook Live that came along. Thanks for everyone on YouTube. Thanks for everyone on my blogging site. God bless you all. Bye bye.